Coco Gauff admits what she found tough despite beating Jasmine Paolini and making the final in Wuhan. Coco Gauff secured her place in the final of the Wuhan Open against Jasmine Paolini, but she found one particular aspect tough to deal with. Gauff has been outstanding in Wuhan, defeating Laura Siegemund, Zhang Shuai, and Moyuka Yukijima and dropping just 9 games. The Americans' match with Paolini was more competitive, but Gauff found a way to come through in a straight sets. Despite confirming back-to-back finals in China, Gauff has revealed the one thing she found tough against Paolini. Coco Gauff struggled on serve against Jasmine Paolini. Gauff and Paolini swapped serve several times in the semifinal, with both women breaking serve 11 consecutive times. The star opened up about her match with Paolini with a particular emphasis on her struggles with her serve. "It was 3-0 to her this year. I think we're even now on overall head-to-head," she said to Sky Sports. "I'm really happy with how I played today. It was tough, especially on the serve, but I did what I need to do to get through. I've played a couple finals this year, so I have a lot of experience, but regardless of what happens tomorrow, I'm really happy with the effort I put in for this tournament." Gauff will play the winner of Aryna Sabalenka and Jessica Pegula in the Wuhan Open final. Coco Gauff looks ahead to the Wuhan Open final. The American was typically diplomatic when discussing who she would prefer to face in her latest final appearance. "Yeah, obviously they're both great players," said the world number 3, who could be playing both players at the WTA finals in November. "They've both played a high level of tennis this year, and I've lost to them both before but also won, so it could go either way. But overall, I'm just going to focus on my side of the court and try to control the things I can control." Gauff leads her head-to-head with Sabalenka, winning 6 of her 11 matches against the world number 1, but the same cannot be said for her compatriot. Gauff has lost 4 times against Pegula, and she's only managed to beat the American on 2 occasions. Coco Gauff admits what she found tough despite beating Jasmine Paolini and making the final in Wuhan. In Wuhan, under the heavy October skies that blend smog with sunset, Coco Gauff's laughter echoed briefly through the players' tunnel. She had just beaten Jasmine Paolini, a fighter in her own right, in a match that tested her in ways numbers could never show. The scoreboard read victory, but Gauff's eyes told a story of fatigue, reflection, and quiet honesty. "Yeah, it was tough," she admitted in her post-match interview, voice slightly cracking, not from nerves but from exhaustion. "People see the wins and the confidence, but there were moments out there when I really had to push myself mentally more than physically." The Wuhan Open had been relentless. Long rallies, swirling indoor conditions, and a field full of women playing the best tennis of their lives. Gauff, now the face of a new generation, carried the invisible weight of expectation with every serve. The grind beneath the glamour. Coco Gauff's ascent has been painted in headlines. Teen sensation. Future of American tennis, next Serena. But as she wiped sweat from her brow in Wuhan, she looked every bit like what she truly is, a 21-year-old learning how to carry the pressure of greatness. Her match against Jasmine Paolini wasn't just a semifinal, it was a mental marathon. Paolini, known for her tenacity and unpredictable pace, chased every ball like it was her last. Gauff had to dig deep, rally after rally, finding that delicate balance between aggression and patience. "I think the toughest part was staying calm," Gauff confessed. "There were a few times I felt the match could slip away. She's such a great mover, and I started overthinking, which is something I've been working on. Just trusting my instincts. Trust. That was the word that lingered. For Gauff, trust means believing in the process, in the hours of unseen practice, in the corrections made after each loss, and in the resilience that comes from self-doubt. The silent battles of a rising star. Few athletes are as open as Gauff about the mental challenges behind the victories. In Wuhan, she looked sharper than ever, her forehand ripping through the court, her serve landing with precision. Yet between points, her expressions flickered with frustration, a silent dialogue unfolding between determination and doubt. "I've learned that even when things are going well, there's always something to work through," she said later. "Like today, I was winning, but it didn't feel easy. It was one of those matches where your brain is louder than your body. For many, that's what separates good players from great ones, the ability to silence the noise, both external and internal." And in Wuhan, Gauff wasn't just playing Paolini. She was playing herself, the perfectionist inside who always demands more. A journey beyond comfort zones. The Wuhan Open marked one of the farthest stops on Gauff's globetrotting season. The time zone shifts, the cultural adjustments, the distant crowds, all part of the grind that comes with chasing titles. It's tough being away from home this long, Gauff admitted, smiling wearily. I love the game, but sometimes you miss the simple things. My mom's cooking, my friends back home. But I remind myself, this is the dream I worked for. That dream now has edges of realism. For every trophy lifted, there are countless hours of discipline, of stretching sore muscles, replaying lost points, or sitting in silence after midnight flights. Wuhan's humid air seemed to magnify all of it, the physical toll, the emotional resilience, and the quiet solitude of an athlete constantly moving forward. Respect for the rival. Gauff's respect for Paolini was evident. Jasmine made me work for every single point, she said. She's one of those players who never gives up. You think you've hit a winner, and she's there again. Indeed, Paolini's relentless energy pushed Gauff to raise her level. It wasn't just about power, it was about adaptability. The match became a chess game, one that demanded constant recalibration. At one point, after a long rally that ended with Gauff's forehand clipping the line, she turned toward her box and pumped her fist, not in celebration but in relief. It was that kind of match, gritty, draining, and deeply satisfying. The price of consistency. Making the final in Wuhan was another career milestone for Coco Gauff. But as she sat with reporters afterward, there was no trace of arrogance. Just gratitude and fatigue. I think what's tough sometimes is maintaining the same energy every week, she said thoughtfully. It's not just physical. Mentally, you've got to reset constantly, win or lose. It's a truth few see from the outside. The travel, the scrutiny, the constant comparison to legends past. It's all part of a cycle that can wear even the most gifted players thin. Yet Gauff, with her trademark mix of humility and fire, continues to find joy in the grind. I'm learning that tough doesn't mean bad, she smiled. Sometimes the hardest matches are the ones that teach you the most. Eyes on the final, heart in the moment. Now, as she looks ahead to the final, Gauff's focus remains sharp. Each victory brings her closer to the kind of maturity that only experience can build. Her team, her family, her faith, they form the anchor that keeps her grounded amid the noise.